Some people complain about not having enough, and some people thank God for barely surviving. This is the story of a woman who had every reason to break, but chose gratitude instead. A maid was working in a house. It was afternoon. The house owner offered her food. Before touching the plate, the maid gently closed her eyes and whispered, "Thank you, God, for this meal." The house owner smiled. She felt happy, seeing such gratitude. The next day, after finishing her work, the owner offered the maid a cup of coffee. Once again, the maid softly said, "Thank you, God." Third day, the house owner offered her food again. She didn't eat it. She quietly took the food with her, looked up, and said, "Thank you, God." This time, the owner asked curiously, "Why do you thank God for everything?" The maid smiled gently and replied, "We must thank God for giving us at least 2 meals a day." The maid left. The owner stood at the doorway. A strange thought crossed her mind. She must be the happiest person on earth. That's why she thanks God for everything. But something inside her wanted to know more, so she followed her. The maid entered a small, quiet house. The owner stepped closer and looked inside. What she saw made her stop breathing for a moment. Inside, her husband was lying on a bed, weak, silent. The maid sat gently beside him and fed him the food she had brought. From the neighbors, the owner learned the truth. 6 months ago, the husband had met with a serious accident. He was in the hospital for weeks. And since that day, he had not been able to work. The owner walked back silently, her heart heavy, her thoughts changed forever. The next day, the maid came to work again. She looked tired, but her face was calm, as peaceful as ever. Before leaving, the owner packed some food for her to take home. The maid was surprised. She folded her hands and said, "Thank you, God." The owner gently asked, "Why do you always thank God, even after everything that happened to your husband?" The maid replied softly, "I thank God because he is still alive, even after such a big accident." The owner said, "But he is still on the bed." The maid smiled and answered, "I thank God because he is still by my side." The owner hesitated and asked, "But his treatment must cost you a fortune?" The maid looked up and said calmly, "I am thankful that somehow God is still sending money through one way or another." Then she added, "We should be thankful to God for every second, for every breath, for everything he gave. You have children, you are blessed. People like me are not." The owner felt something shift inside her. Days passed. No miracles overnight. No sudden change. Just quiet mornings and tired evenings. She continued working with the same honesty, the same gratitude. Slowly, people began to notice her. One house owner offered her more work. Another recommended her to someone else. Months later, her husband slowly began to heal. One day, a house owner who owned a factory noticed him. He offered him a job, not heavy labor, but as a supervisor. Time passed, and one day, life surprised them again. She was blessed with a baby boy. Holding that tiny life close to her chest, tears streamed down her face. Not tears of pain, but of gratitude, of love. of hope. After everything they had endured, God still trusted them with this gift. She whispered softly, "Thank you for every second." Gratitude doesn't mean life is easy. It means you choose to see what still remains. When you thank God in your darkest moments, you don't change your situation. You change yourself.